So what's up, everybody? Man, Dan 300 back with another video, man. I'm trying to I'm trying to get to do a lot more videos more often. So you know. But anyways, I'm just gonna go right into it, man. So this video I'm making is you're thinking about buying a Gen 1 Chrysler 300. That's the '05 to 2010. Um, Technically, it's kind of '05 to '07 because from '08 to '10 it was a little bit different interior stuff, but it's mostly the same. So yeah, basically '05 to 2010 Chrysler 300. You're trying to get one of those. You're thinking about it. So most likely if you're watching this, you're either thinking of getting one of those cars or you're debating, oh, should I buy? Is it reliable? All this. And it's a good car. But I'll just give you some of the things you gotta look out for. Some like the more common things, that go bad about this car. Things you should look out for, stuff when, looking to pick one up. Um, so if you're looking to get one up, obviously there's gonna be a lot of different things, Mileage is gonna be a big thing, You get some like a higher mileage one or low mileage one. Now for high mileage, that's gonna vary because some people high mileage is, 80,000 miles, 100,000 miles, 150,000 miles, so it's gonna vary. Um, you definitely don't want to get if you're getting some one from like '05 to '07, you don't want to get one with like very low miles, like 50,000 miles or something like that, because as crazy as it might sound, people think that, oh, I'm gonna buy the lowest mileage car, which is good, but at the same time, you don't want to buy the car's like 10 years old or something like that, 12 years old or whatever, and you don't want to buy a car with that low mileage. You want to buy something that has been driven, because you don't want to have a car just sitting around, because a lot of things could wear out, like the rubber and all those things could wear out if it's just sitting down. So you want something that's been driven but not too much. So mileage, price is also a big thing. Whatever your budget is, you can pick one up for $5,000. You want an SRT, whatever. But first thing you want to do, and this is kind of like a no-brainer. This is pretty much any car you want to get a pre-purchase inspection. You got to do that. Not even just any car you get in, you should always get a pre-purchase inspection before you do it. Just to make sure everything's okay. Some cars might look good on the outside, but the inside, the engine, and all that, it might be a different story. So you see, I personally, when I got my car, I did not get a. I mean, I kind of got a pre-purchase inspection, but that was after I bought the car. You should get it before. But I mean, thankfully, it all worked out for me. The car was okay, but you should get a pre-purchase inspection. I mean, I cannot stress that enough. It's really, really important you get a pre-purchase inspection. Tire sports can do it. Pretty much any mechanic should be able to do it for you. That's not a problem, man. It shouldn't cost too much. What's this, man? Hold up. Alright, sorry about that, man. Someone was passing. Yeah. So I'm gonna show all those things I'm talking about. So I'm just gonna do like a quick rundown of things you gotta look at. The bushings in the front end. Over condition. Hermetic, that's a big one. I'm gonna walk around and show you all these things, by the way. And all these things I'm saying, it pretty much applies to, I have a 300C, the one with the 5.7 Hemi. This applies to if you get in the SRT with the 6.1, or if you get in a Limited or Touring. Those have the 3.5 liter V6, I believe. Yeah, if you get in there, or if you get in the, you see, the 2.7, well, I kind of should save that for a different video, but you should avoid that because I've heard nothing but just bad things about the 2.7 engine. So try to avoid that one by all means. It's a really slow engine. This car's really big, but that's not the video. I'll talk about that later. But anyways, I'm gonna do a walk around and show you everything you gotta look out for. All right. I got like a list of everything. Just gonna start. The first thing you want to look out for is front end noises. So this car is very, very common from the factory. Now I do have aftermarket wheels on there, but the bushings and stuff, when you're going over bumps, it's gonna be like another noise. So make sure the bushings and everything is good. Just want to listen for every noise. For any noise if you're going over any bump or potholes or anything like that. Second thing you want to look out for is rust, man. That's probably one of the biggest things. Now this car, they tend to rust on the fender. You can see the paint is kind of bubbling a little bit. I actually have a little bit of rust on this side. Right here. You can see there's a little bit of rust on it. You want to check for rust, man. That's a big thing on these cars. And also in the underbody also, you want to make sure there's no rust, you know. Make sure, or if there's rust, just make sure it's a little bit, not like to the point where it's already eating out the car and stuff like that. So that's a big one. You want to look out for rust. Third one, I gotta start the engine for this one. Third one you want to look out for, which is really important, is the let me flip this camera around. So it's the infamous Hemi tick. I think that's what it's called. It's basically like a ticking noise in the engine bay. I'm gonna open it. So you know, you want to start up the car, you know, pop the hood and listen for any noise, any like ticking noise. Obviously I don't have it, but you know, you want to do that. And also while you're down here, you know, you might as well just check for any leaks. You know, make sure all the hoses are good. I already changed some of mine, the coolant hoses. Make sure there's no oil leak or anything like that. You know, I want to check the coolant fluid, the levels and all that, the power steering, brake reservoir fluid, you know. I want to check everything, make sure everything's good. Stop. I showed you, you know, the Hemi tick is probably so apparently this the 5.7, I don't know about this. SRT, the 5.7 engines are pretty popular to, I mean not popular, like common. It's very common where the engine like drops like a valve seat, something like that. Basically a drop valve seat, and you know, it blows the engine off, something like that. So, but I heard that only happens if the engine overheats and stuff like that. So, you know, just want to make sure that, you know, there's no tick or any weird noise in the engine. You know, you gotta pay attention to. You gotta listen real good. You know, just to make sure everything's okay. Like I said, the noise, front end noises. Make sure there's no noise. Make sure, you know, bushings are being placed. You know, and everything. I remember when I got mine. You know, I had noises in the front end. That shit was kind of. I'm trying not to curse. But it was really annoying, and you know, I took it to a bunch of mechanics, I remember, and nobody could figure out what it was, you know. So I ended up changing like the lower control arm, the inner outer tie rods. I changed all the bushings. I did everything, and the noise was still there. I was like, this thing is driving me crazy. At some point, I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna do anything. I'm just gonna leave it. It turns out to be the driver's side upper control arm. The bolt was loose. That was actually the problem. I'm not saying that's gonna be the problem with yours, but you know, just make sure, you know, there's no weird noises or anything like that. You know, another thing you want to check, like the overall condition, the leather and everything. The leather in this car, they tend to like, you know, wear out and stuff. So you want to make sure. Wow, man, sorry about that, man. Security out here asking me what I'm doing and stuff. But yeah, make sure the leather is good. If there's like a, you know, worn part of the leather, you can use it as a leverage to, you know, knock the price down. You know, stuff like that. So you want to check that. The paint also. If you're gonna buy like a super high mileage one, you know, you want to make sure, you know, the paint is good. There's no bubbling or cracking. I'm trying to find my phone. And stuff like yeah, the paint, make sure the paint is good. Another big thing that a lot of people overlook is transmission fluid. Now if you're gonna buy like a super high mileage one, like you want to go, if you're gonna get one with like 150,000 miles, you know, 120, 250,000 miles, or even more, you know, you want to make sure the previous owner had changed their transmission fluid, because a lot of people, you know, disregard that. They don't do that, you know, because technically the manual says not to change it, or I mean, there's like a list of criteria and stuff, and for normal driving, it doesn't fit the criteria where you have to change it, but you know, still it doesn't make sense. You probably change it. But yeah, the transmission on this car is actually pretty good. It's the at least on the 5.7 and 6.1, it's the NAG 1. I said that's NAG 1 transmission. It's a Mercedes transmission back then when they were like still patterns and stuff. So it's a good transmission, but you want to make sure, you know, it's been changed. You know, if he has receipt for every work he's done for it and stuff like that. Make sure that's been well maintained. Obviously, you know, make sure the oil has been changed every 3,000 miles or whatever it is. Another big thing, if you're buying a super high mileage one, you want to make sure if you're buying one with 180 200,000 miles if you want to go crazy like me. You know, I actually bought mine with 190,000 miles, and so you won't buy it with 200,000 miles when you're thinking about it. You know, another big thing is a fuel pump. Now I heard the fuel pump of this car, they like to go out at around 200,000 miles. I still have the stock fuel pump, and I have currently I have like 213,000. 213. Like 213 or something. Yeah, 213,000 miles on it. I still got a stock fuel pump. So, although I do have a extra, I bought a spare fuel pump. I have it in the trunk. I got that for $1. I'll put a link in the description or something. Just in case, because the fuel pump, when it goes out, you're gonna be stranded, and you know I don't want a situation because I mean the fuel pump, it kind of doesn't give you any warning. It just goes out. You know, that's the thing. When it goes out, you can't move anywhere. So I have a extra one, so I can just change it out myself. You know, it's not that hard to change, by the way. It's just right under the seat and stuff like that. You wanna, you know, make sure you know that's been changed, or if it hasn't been changed, you know, it's something you should probably think of replacing. You know, just because you know 200,000 miles is a lot, and it's probably gonna go out soon. So, other than that, I think yeah, that's pretty much about it, man. Like I said, I'm just gonna run down everything real quick. The first one, the most important one, pre-purchase inspection, man. That's a no-brainer. I mean, that pretty much knocks out everything, but you want to get that, man. You know, go to Tires Plus, your mechanic, anywhere, just go. Anybody will be able to do it for you. Shouldn't be too expensive. Get that done. Second big thing, rust, man. You don't want no, you know, rusty ass car. You know what I'm saying? Make sure there's no rust, you know, on the under of it. Now, mine has some rust on it, like I showed you, but you know, I didn't really care because I don't plan to keep this car for that long. I'm gonna actually get rid of it pretty soon, but you know, I didn't care that much. You know, I didn't pay a lot for it, by the way, so I might not even sell it. I might just give a friend or something. But yeah, man, you want to make sure there's no, you know, rust and stuff like that. Another big thing is a helmet tick. Make sure there's no ticking noise, man. There's no funny, weird noise or anything. Front end noise also, you know, make sure there's no noises in the front end. You know, everything, the bushings, everything is good. Yeah, that's about it, man. That's about it. Now this is not kind of like a not part of it, but I bought my car when it had 190,000 miles, something like that, and the previous owner told me the engine had been rebuilt. So a lot of these cars, if you find them with like super high miles, a lot of them come with, you know, rebuilt engines and stuff. So if you're gonna get a rebuilt, so make sure you know you get the receipt for it or something that you can at least confirm that you know the engine was rebuilt, and make sure it was rebuilt by like, you know, a dealer or someone who's like really good at it, because you know you can rebuild this engine and you know some people don't do a good job with it, and once you rebuild it, you know, I had a friend who rebuilt an engine and not long after, you know, he blew again, something like that. So you know, you just want to make sure, you know, it's been rebuilt by someone who knows his stuff, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, make sure you have a receipt for that, something like that. Another thing is I didn't talk about this, I kind of forgot about it, is the PCV valve. That's another thing a lot of people like to, you know, ignore and don't change. You know, I think you got to change that every 30 or 20,000 miles. I'm not sure. You can check it on your manual. It's just like a little valve on the engine bay. I got a video how to replace it, you know. I might put a link in to the video. It's really easy, you know. You might as well just change it. It's like you can get it on eBay for like $20 or something. Just pops in, you know. Basically, you know, prevents the engine from, you know, leaking oil and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's about it, man. You know, overall, it's a real good car. It's been really reliable. You know, like I said, I've 213,000 miles, and I haven't had any major issue with the car. You know, knock on wood, man. Shit, I'm knock on plastic when that works. But yeah, I haven't had any major issues with the car. Like I said, I plan to get rid of it pretty soon anyway. So, but yeah, pre-purchase inspection. Yeah, that's it, man. That's it, man. I don't want to make the video too long. I might miss it. Damn, it's got long already. Well, yeah, man. Thanks for watching the video. Please like, subscribe, man. If you got any ideas for any videos you want me to do, put it in the comment. And peace, man. I'm out.